This video is going to be somewhat of a mini solo walkthrough of Crota's raid on hard post Taken King. I do have a ton of videos of how to solo Crota, doing the rock jump, doing the bridge jump, and a walkthrough, complete walkthrough of all classes that goes into a ton of detail. I am going to link all those videos in the description. So if you are looking for something specific, you can just find that in the description. Or if you are a year 2 player, you've never done Crota, you're a year 1 player and you've never done Crota, and you're thinking, hey, I want to solo it, I want to go get Glowhoo, or do you want to get Black Hammer or a certain type of gun, I would go and watch my complete walkthrough video. This video is not going to be as detailed. The reason why I'm making this video is because over all those old videos that are probably, I don't know, 10 months to a year old, I still get comments on them for people asking for clarification. There's some people that are struggling with certain things like the bridge jump or the rock jump here at the very beginning, which will be the first thing I'm going to be showing you in this video. And there's some people that are wondering if stuff's been patched, and stuff hasn't been patched. I don't think it will ever get patched. The only way that the exploits in the Vault of Glass and Crota will ever get patched, in my opinion, is if they bring those raids forward. And hell, even if they do bring them forward, they probably won't even spend time fixing it because they're going to be focused on new raids and new activities. But enough about that. Sorry about the rambled beginning. So this video is basically for those people that are still having problems completing these activities, and just for clarification, that stuff isn't patched. You can still do these exploits within the Crota raid, and this is on hard. I never did a hard walkthrough. That walkthrough video is for normal, but the hard raid is not that different from normal. There's little tiny differences, like there's a few extra cursed thrall here at the beginning part, but that's not going to matter. Death Singer, you get less time to complete it. I will not be showing that in this video. And then Crota has a little tweak on his fight. I will be showing you how to solo Crota on hard. The strategy is not different, well, not really, from normal. So if you already saw my normal walkthrough video from a gazillion years ago, then you already know what you're doing and it don't matter. And I will be showing Shrieker Hallway. There is a little twist to that. But whatever, dude. Sorry about the long intro. Let's get into it. So you want to max out your agility. Whether you're on the Warlock, the Titan, or the Hunter, max that agility out. And I'm going to be showing you on the Hunter first. Like I said, you're going to be using Blink Jump on Bladedancer, and you need a +2 agility weapon. I am using the multi-tool. There are a ton of weapons in the game, in the universe, that give you +2 agility. Just use wherever that weapon is, a heavy, a special, a primary, it does not matter. Now, I like to kneel down here. You don't have to. It's not going to really matter. Unless you're like a super duper low light level, it's not going to matter. And I was dicking around a little bit to get my super. That's why there's so many thrall out and about like this. If you just start right away, those thrall aren't going to be there. So you're just going to make your way. If you're totally unfamiliar with this raid, you're making your way to the second lamp. Follow my path. You're going to get onto this rock. Now with the Hunter, you're going to want to be sprinting forward and blink up. And it's just that easy. Now it's not going to be super easy at first. You're going to have to get used to it. Now when you get on top of the rock, I failed to mention, you want to take your way to darkness all the way to 0. Just for people not familiar with this raid. If you have any way to darkness, you're not going to be able to jump. This is another run. You come to the rock, your way to darkness is gone. You're going to be sprinting towards the wall. Aim up. Make sure to aim up. I don't make it the first attempt. That's totally fine. Make your way back to the rock. Make sure to aim up. If you're aiming up, your blink will travel further vertical instead of straight forward. Blinking up. And there you go. It's not very hard. It might take a few attempts to get used to. And once you're up top here, it's going to make this lamp run so much easier. And you just follow the lamps all the way up top to the bridge. So all the classes, you can just run through the lamps normally if you'd like to. This is just an easier way to do it, especially if you are a lower light. So next up is the Titan. The Titan has the easiest of all 3 classes to do the rock jump because the Titan has bounce. You want to use increased height. Regardless of what subclass you're using, you want to use increased height and get a +2 agility weapon. Doing the same exact thing as the Hunter, except for the Hunter, he or she, whatever your character is, runs towards the wall and then blinks. The Titan and Warlock are different. The Titan is not going to move at all. You're going to get back towards the back half of the rock. You'll see here where I'm standing, the back half, and you're just going to double tap your X and jump up, float up. Just don't even move. There you go. You're just floating on up. So you're not sprinting forward like the Hunter. You're just floating up. It's super duper easy with the Titan. Next up is the Warlock. Now I'm going to do this on self-res. It doesn't matter. Whatever subclass you want to use, just make sure you're using Focus Burst. You max your agility out, and again, you're using a +2 agility weapon. You can blink up just like the Hunter. I will have links to all these different videos. You can do this on self-res without a +2 agility weapon, but there's so many in the game now that you should have a gun with +2 agility on it, I would think. Same exact thing. Now this time, it's a little different than the Titan. You're going to want to take about a 1-step forward run. So you're starting on the back and that 1 step. Just a 1-step sprint, and you're going to float on up. I'll replay that for you. I'll slow it down so you can see. So you're with the Warlock, you're going to take like a half 1-step sprint and then smash your jump button. So I got this really slowed down here. So you gather near the back half of the rock where I shoot the first dot, and you're barely moving. The second shot, you're moving like 1 step. You'll see here a little 1-step sprint, and then you're just going to float on up. That's simple. Next, I'm going to be showing you that the bridge jump still works. You can still get across in all 3 classes very easily. And before I get into the jumps, I'm going to explain the jump. Now you're probably asking yourself, what is this ugly ass diagram that I'm looking at? So we have the black line signifying the bridge. There's the bridge, bottom bridge, and then where you're trying to go. There is an invisible force field. This was Bungie's quote-unquote fix to people hacking across the bridge to the other side. There's an invisible force field that cuts down the middle of the bridge, okay? So in all my other bridge walkthrough videos, I explain this, but I think it's easier to visualize in a picture. Okay, so the blue line signifies the type of route you want to take. Your trajectory is going to have to be curved. You have to cross the middle of the bridge before you can go any direction you want to, because until you get past halfway the bridge, you will hit an invisible wall, which again is signified by the red lines. So if you take too tight of an angle, signified by the yellow line on the right, you're going to die. If you take too fat of a curve, you're not going to make the bridge, signified by the other yellow line. So let's get into actual clips of the jumping. I'm going to show you the Hunter first. If you don't like blink and you don't have bones of EO, you're going to have to go over to a rock on the left side. There's a rock on the right side as well, but I prefer the left side. So I do all my jumps from this little right-hand pillar right here. There's other spots you can leave from, but this is just the spot that I prefer. Again, remember we have a curved trajectory. Once I hit past halfway, you can go wherever you want. And I'm cutting over to the rock, cutting over to the rock. Once you get here, start smashing that swing button, hack up to the very tip top of the rock, then you'll be able to jump, and there you go, you are across. If you have bones of EO, you can also blink across the map. You don't have to use the rock if you're comfortable blinking. I will have links to the blinking video down in the description. I'm not going to show you that. I'm just going to show you bones because I'm sure the majority of hunters have bones by now. So here we go. Bones, you're going to be able to go all the way across because you are getting the extra jump. Make sure you are on triple jump so you'll get a 4th jump. There's 1 hop, there's 2. I like to swing 3 times, do another hop, swing a couple more times, and do your last hop. And there you go, you're across the bridge. Next up, we got the Titan, who has the easiest time getting across to the other side. Of course, because they have mad hops, you're going to use increased height again. Now, if you do have Twilight Garrison, you don't have to go to that starting pillar on the right-hand side. You can just go right across. The Titan has bounce like that, super bounce. There you go. You're just going to jump up. Once you hit the crest of your jump, start hacking, and then Twilight, hack again. You will make the jump. If you don't have Twilight Garrison, no biggie. Titan's got bounce. Like I said, just go over to the right pillar where all the other classes are starting from. And you're just doing that curve again. You'll see here, wait till you get to the crest of your height. Or crest of your height, crest of your jump, and then you're going to curve it, making sure to curve. You don't cut over too soon, and you don't take too fat of a loop. Next up is the Warlock. The Warlock will have the toughest time, in my opinion, to make it across the bridge, but definitely still doable. So this is first up. Let's say you aren't making it across the bridge in one fell swoop. You can do what the Hunter does, and you can go over to the rock. That's perfectly fine. It is a little bit harder to go to the rock on the Warlock because of its float jump. It's almost hack off the map there. You're just doing the same thing. You're slamming that hack attack, hacking up to the tip top, then floating. And there you go, you are across. But it is easy to make it across. Just make sure you max out your agility. And also make sure that you are aiming up. You'll see, like with the sword, as you're starting to hack, aim up. You want to aim up. You are going to cut it close with the Warlock. Just make sure you get to the crest of your jump and then start hacking away. Make sure to aim up slightly. Aim up, aim up, aim up. You see I barely make it. This is going to be another clip showing you a much easier make, and that has to do with the fact that I'm aiming more up than I did in that first clip. I didn't really aim up in the first clip, even though I was telling you to aim up. I was slightly aiming up. This is what it should look like if I can jump up here. Okay, here we go. And I take a much better angle. See, I'm aiming way more up. You can't even see the bridge underneath me, and that's going to just help just that little bit, and you're going to be able to clear the bridge. Next up is the Shrieker Hallway, and the reason I'm showing this is because there is a slight change from normal to hard. The change is they respawn. So if you watched my walkthrough video, you're going to take out the first one from way back when, like a year ago. You're going to hug the left side of the wall, just like I always do. I am using Truth. I am at 335 light, and that is going to one-shot that. You could use Dragon's Breath, but I would suggest Truth. If you are a lower light level, it might take more than one rocket to destroy the Shriekers. Truth holds 3. You should be able to take it out with 3 rockets. As you're taking out or shooting rockets, make sure to keep moving up the hallway. You do not want to be stagnant and standing still. I also use the Don't Touch Me's in that hallway, which is really nice for the hunters. You go invis whenever a thrall touches you, and there's a buttload of thrall in that hallway. I know I'm not going into great detail. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want a very detailed guide of how to solo this by yourself, if you're a year 2 player and you never did it, I will have links in the description below that can take you to a full walkthrough for all 3 classes on how to do it on normal mode, and I am explaining hard mode here. I will explain hard Crota because there is one slight difference, but this raid from normal to hard, there's not really any difference. There's not a whole lot. There's only a few things. Next up for Shrieker Hallway is the Titan. Switch to Bubble and have Armor of Light on. I have Helma Save 14. You don't need Helma Save 14, but it helps a whole lot. So I already shot the first one with Sniper. I cut that out. You don't need to see that. And it respawned, but I'm going to move up the room past the first Shrieker, pop my bubble, and I'm going to shoot the second Shrieker. You're shooting these Shriekers to take down invisible walls, just FYI for anybody not familiar with the raid. Once that's down, I just clear the path a little way with a few melees, just waiting. And there we go. I'm going to cut up the room the left side. It's very, very easy on the Titan to make it through this hallway. It's easy on the Hunter as well, and it's easy on the Warlock. All 3 classes have a very easy time making it through the hallway, even on hard with them respawning. Next up for the hallway is the Warlock. I'm on self-res. I'm using Radiant Skin, and I also have Apotheos Veil on. It doesn't matter if you use Radiant Skin or Fireborn. Either or is perfectly fine. You could also use Stormcaller. You could do the first one with a Sniper, hug the left wall, do the second Shrieker, and then pop your Stormcaller and just electrocute everything as you make your way up the hallway. I would suggest self-res though. That's just me. Though that's what I'm just used to doing the hallway by myself is with self-res when I'm on the Warlock. Obviously Stormcaller was not around in year 1, and I didn't even think to try it. So here you go. I'm taking out the first one, and this is going to show you a little bit more. And make sure you back out. I know this isn't necessarily a walkthrough, but you want to just stay in the back, wait for these little orbs to make their way into the room, and then head to the left, head to the left, head to the left. Wait for the second one to pop up. Pop up, second one, you jabroni, there it is. Shooting it, activating my super. Now I was dumb and did not get a melee there. That's why I cut it close. You want to get a melee there after you activate your self-res so you can get your flame shield, and you will not have a little tiny sliver as I barely make it. So next up is Crota. I skipped the Death Singer because the Death Singer, there's no difference. The only difference is it gives you less time to complete it. Again, if you want to watch a full walkthrough, that's in the description. So first off, before we kind of go into the whole Crota thing, is I wanted to do some weapons testing. It's been a while. We have a much more light, and I wanted to do some weapons testing. So first up is Truth. And I remember Truth sucks for Crota because Crota's shield regens very, very quickly. So if you do want to use Truth, you're going to have to use something in combination with Truth. You saw there I used a throwing knife, and that will burn to keep his shield from recharging, and then I can use another rocket. Celestial Nighthawk, which you just saw me just use, Golden Gun, will take him down in one shot if you are a hunter. So if you are going to use Truth and you're a Warlock, say, combo that with a grenade. Titan, combo that with a grenade. Hunters, you could use a smoke. You could use double smokes with truth if you want to use truth. Just make sure if you are using truth to combo that with something that will keep doing minimal damage on him so his shield does not regen. So next up, I have Gjallarhorn equipped. I just wanted to see if the old beast itself could still take him down. Come here, Crota. Come on over. Or I'm going to use my bow first. I wanted to try something. Bow and smoke and just shooting him with primary. He backed up a little too much. I could have gotten him down if he didn't move. Bow didn't really seem to halt his damage regen, I kind of noticed. But you see, he almost went down. Okay, so let's try Gjallarhorn. One shot, two shot. He's going down. So Gjallarhorn still works even with the light level drop. A lot of you should have Gjallarhorn. Basically, every single year one player should have Gjallarhorn because Xur sold it that last week right before they were about to nerf this bad boy. Year 2, you probably don't have it. That's perfectly fine. Just use something else. I'm going to try out Sleeper Simulant, see what that would do. Does quite a bit of his shield, but again, it regens too quick. So if you do want to use Sleeper Simulant, you're going to have to combo that with something. Smoke, grenade, throwing knife. You just have to combo it with something because his shield regens so quickly. You need something to halt his shield from regening. Titans, you know what? You could probably use Thor Hammer and take his shield down that way. Just pummel his ass with Thor Hammers, though you're going to have to test that out. If you're stuck in your super, you're not going to be able to pick up that sword and do hacks on him when he does get down. This is a clip showing a high impact machine gun. This is the Iron Banner machine gun that I'm using. Any high impact machine gun will work perfectly fine taking his shield down. The timing is just going to be a little bit different with a machine gun. You're going to have to get used to it when he goes down. You're probably going to want to start further up than the little rock spot that I keep going to, or I'm showing you these clips from. This is just a random clip. I was switching weapons and this brings back old memories. The Gatekeeper. Look at this dude. He's supposed to be down below, came up to say hi, and now he's retreating back. Good times, the Crota raid. So next I'm trying out the Void Heavy Sword. Just wanted to see if it could take him down in one shot. And it can. So if you want to use a sword, though hunters are pretty much going to be the only thing that's going to be able to consistently use a sword. Maybe a Titan. He had a Titan bubble. You might be able to do it, but I would not suggest a sword. I just am trying it out because I wanted to see what will take him down. Solar Sword's up next. Just kind of going through a lot of weapons. That takes him down too, though that just friggin' pinballed me all the way back here. This is another clip showing Sleeper in combo with Smoke. So I'm tossing the smoke. I'm going to shoot one Sleeper shot. His shield will not regen because he's still stuck in the smoke. And there you go, he's going to go down. So if you want to use Sleeper, you can use Sleeper. Next up is the Dragon's Breath, a very good alternative because of the Napalm Strike here. And you'll see it's slow. It is definitely slow, but it's going to work. And you're only going to need to use one rocket. You're not going to need to use two. I just used two. If you do it correctly, you're only going to need to use one rocket to take him down, as we'll try it again here, just so you can see the one rocket. It is slow, but it's effective. It works. It's whatever. There you go. He's down again. So what is the big difference between hard and normal Crota? We're finally going to get into the fight. The only really big difference is that you don't regen health. You don't have the chalice or whatever the hell it was called to regen your health. So you have to regen your health in different ways. You could use Red Death. You could use Suros. You could use, guns with those perks. I think a few of the raid guns have those perks. Or you can use perks within your subclass to re-heal. For the Bladedancer, you can use Hungering Blade. So every time you get a kill with Blink Strike or your super, you can regen your health. And you're going to need something like this. You could always switch to Red Death midway through the fight, get a kill, and then switch back to whatever heavy you're rocking if you're rocking an exotic. So let's take some damage here just so you can see it in action. These boomers will wreck even with light level difference. Wait for me to get my Blink Strike. So there's no chalice or anything on hard. So you're going to have to, use these tactics. Gatekeeper, dude, get out of here. Go back in your little hole. Nope. No. Go away. Please. Thank you. Yeah, get back there. No, go away, dude. Go back in your hole. There you go. Back in your hallway, you little punk. All right, here we go. See if we can get one of these little thralls to come over here. Come here. And there you go. Regen your health like that on the hunter. So if you want to use Golden Gun or you want to use Night Stalker, you could quickly switch over to Bladedancer. Though if you're saving a super, you will not have that super. So if you want to rock Golden Gun or you want to rock Night Stalker, you're going to maybe want to switch to Red Death in between fight. And I'm going to be using Gjallarhorn. If you have Gjallarhorn, I would just use Gjallarhorn to take down Crota. If you don't have Gjallarhorn, I think Dragon's Breath would be the best second alternative. And then maybe Machine Gun after that. Or you could use Truth in conjunction with nades, throwing knives, smokes, whatever it may be. Next up, I'm going to show you how to heal yourself with the Titan. You can heal yourself with the Bubble, and I would suggest rocking Bubble for this fight. You can also heal yourself with Storm Fist for the Titan Smash subclass. So let's just, I don't know why I'm even killing these guys. Let's take some damage here. And it doesn't matter what you're rocking. Armor of Light, Blessings of Light, Weapons of Light, whatever you are using. On your initial Bubble Pop, your health will regen. So here we go. I just cut forward to it. I was shooting Acolytes. I don't know why. So I have no health. My health is super low. I'm going to pop my Bubble. You see there, my health was going to regen, and I got my Overshield. We'll just give it a second here for the Overshield to go away so you can see that my health bar has gone back up to 100%. Give it a sec. There we go. Health back up to 100%. Now, if you take a lot more damage, say we get smashed right there and we go back to our Bubble, and then we're going to leave the Bubble, your health does not regen. It only regens on the initial Bubble Pop. So use it wisely. You'll see here when it goes off here in a second, any second now, my health is still stuck at about 50%. Okay, so I also said you can go to Shrieker Titan and you can use Storm Fist, but you have to use the perk Transfusion. So shoulder charge kill, melee kill will regen your health. So we can see that real quickly. I again would do Bubble over this, but another option. So there you go, got the melee kill, health back up. Though on Striker, you're going to be able to regen your health a lot more often because that Bubble does take quite a while to regen. Now we are on the Warlock. Now the Warlock is special in its own way in that you don't really need a heavy to take Crota down. You just can use your self-res and grenades. That is also how you're going to heal. That's why I have Apotheosis Veil on. I would highly suggest having Apotheosis Veil on. That way when you pop your super, your health will automatically regen to 100%. You can also use the Void class. I forget what the perk name is, but the Energy Drain perks, where if you get like a melee, or you do damage with your melee, or you get a grenade kill, your health regens. That's actually a pretty good option for this fight if you'd like to do that, but I prefer self-res. I just do. So I'm going to show you, just as I'm getting friggin' wrecked by boomers, I'm going to show you here the Warlock's grenades taking down Crota real quick as I try and snipe the sword bearer, choke a little bit. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to show you real quick as we try not to die making it through here. I have a sliver. Make it up to the rock. Okay, here we go. I'm going to activate my super. You see health goes back to 100. Come here, Crota. Come here. All right, here we go. There's one nade, there's two nade, pick up sword, he's down. Again, obviously my light level, I just wanted to show you real quick, is 334. So if you have a lower light level, it might take more than two nades. It just might. You never know. It's just stuff you're going to have to test out, you guys. I wasn't going to drop down to a bunch of different light levels to test it out. So this is showing you can get 2 and 1. You could do the double nade perk, and you could throw the 2 nades, and then for the second sword, you pop your super then, and then do another 2 nades. So that's just how you can get 2 swords in one with the Warlock without using heavy. Do the double nade perk, double fusion nades. Sorry, fusion nades. Use your fusion nades. And yeah, that's the Warlock. So now I'm going to show you a full run on hard on the Hunter. I'm going to be going with Golden Gun and Celestial Nighthawk. I'm also going to be rocking Gjallarhorn. Like I said earlier, if you have Gjallarhorn, I would just suggest using Gjallarhorn. If you don't have Gjallarhorn, Dragon's Breath, Truth, High Impact Machine Gun, Warlock, and your nades. Great alternative to using Gjallarhorn. So along with not being able to regen health, there's another little wrinkle with hard Crota. Not much of a wrinkle, but another little wrinkle. And that is that Crota enrages on hard at about 15% health, I'm guessing. Probably about 15% health. So you need to plan accordingly. This is going to differ across the spectrum by your light level. Okay, I am doing this on my hunter as I pause the video here. I am at 316 or 315 with Gjallarhorn on. If you are 335, it's going to take less hits to get down to 15% and so on and so on and so on. If you're only 280 light, it's going to take more hits. Back in the day, if you were level 32, it was 14 or 15 hits. If I can remember, that was a long time ago. He would enrage, and then you would get your last 3 hits with the sword. I'm not really going to go over a huge strategy here. That's for what my overly detailed walkthrough video is for, if you want all the mechanics of this fight. You just need to go in. If it's you and a team of 5, just test it out. See how many hits, how many hits you do. Go up there and do 3 R2 hits. See how much damage that does. And go on down the line and just see how many it's going to take to get him to enrage. If you're doing this by yourself, you're going to have to test it out a bit. When I was doing all those heavy, Jesus Christ, just had a brain aneurysm, all those heavy weapon tests for you guys, that's when I figured out how many hits I needed to do with each sword. So just take a run to test it out. Maybe it takes you 8 hits to get him to enrage. Maybe it takes you 4 hits. 7 hits, whatever it may be, and then you need to break those down. So you can do 2 swords with every 1 sword. If you're not familiar with this raid, that probably sentence sounds confusing and makes no sense. You can have 2 opportunities with each sword. You can get 3 opportunities with each sword, but your timing has to be impeccable. So, first sword you get, you're going to be able to get 2 opportunities to slam on Crota. So let's say it takes 8 hits to enrage him. I would try and get 5 to 6 hits for that across the first sword. And then for the second sword, if you got 6 hits, he's going to enrage at 8. So you only do 2 R2s. Then you bail back to the rock. He's enraging. Ignore the enrage. Then you're going back to taking him down again. And you'll only need like 1 or 2 more hits and he'll die. So just figure out what you need to get him to enrage and make sure you time it out accordingly. So say you need more than 8, you need 12 or whatever. Let's say you do first sword, you do 6, you get 6 hits in. That second sword, you don't want to do 6 hits again because that's going to be across the entire sword timer and you'll make him enrage and the sword will disappear and you won't have any more time to go and defeat him before the enrage finishes. Now in old Crota, on hard Crota, if he enraged, dunzo, game over. You couldn't shoot the sun and have it blow up. On hard Crota with the light level difference now, you might be able to do that, but I don't know. These are things you're just going to have to go out and test yourself. I also wanted to make sure to kill him before ogres. First round of ogres. Again, this is another thing. There's ogres. I didn't really want to do a whole nother full walkthrough. I already have that up. I kind of feel like a douche telling you guys to just go to that video to watch the walkthrough. I just didn't want to explain the whole fight over again when I already have a perfectly good video for that. I just wanted to show you that you could still do all the exploits and just show you hard Crota because I never showed you hard Crota in that other video. That's all off and normal. Just working on taking the sword bearer down. I'm using so many rockets because I saw a pack drop. You can use sniper, primary, grenade, super, whatever it may be to take him down. So here we go. Again, I'm on Golden Gun, I'm using Gjallarhorn, and I'm using Celestial Nighthawk. Now I'm using a throwing knife because sometimes Gjallarhorn is a little bit wonky with its Wolfpack round. So I did 2 hits. I only did 2 hits. I'm just playing it safe, and I haven't done this in forever, so my timing is really, really bad. I hadn't done this raid in a hot second. So I just did 3 hits over 2 swords. Back in the day, you'd want to do about 3.5 to 4 hits per each, so you do 6 or 8 swings for 1 sword down the line. But with the light level difference, you guys aren't going to have to do as many swings. So I'm going to switch quickly to Bladedancer. Make sure you have fast twitch if you are doing the strategy I'm doing. If you're rocking Golden Gun or Night Stalker and you need to switch to Bladedancer, make sure you have fast twitch on so you get your melee back basically in like 2 seconds. So there you go. I got my health back. Now I'm going to be switching back to Golden Gun as this Thrall is annoying. So the Gatekeeper's to my left, but he's going to stay in that hallway as long as you stay in this spot right here. There's a little staircase to my left. As long as you're not all the way past that, the Gatekeeper's not going to come up and mess with you. Though you did see that clip where he comes all the way up in the crystal room. I mean, dude, I've had Crota come up in the crystal room, and the sword bearer is kind of a jerk. Sometimes he'll come around the corner, but more than likely he keeps at ease. And Crota rotates. If you've never done this raid before, I go off a feel. If I remember correctly, it's a minute. He'll be in the middle, then he'll rotate to the right for a minute, then he'll rotate back to the middle. If you've never done this before, Google Crota timer. Somebody put together a cool little timer that keeps track of when he's going to rotate for you, so big ups to whoever did that. Here we go. This is last sword. I tested it beforehand. I hope you do the same so you know how many hits it takes. I only need 2 more to make him enrage. I only needed 5. Again, using Gjallarhorn with throwing knives just to make sure he goes down. There's the 2 hits. He's enraging. I'm going back to the rock. Ignore the enrage. You've timed this all out. And now we're just going to have to take him down one final time. And 1 or 2 more hits. I'm a sliver. And there we go. We did it. So if you still need a glowhoo or some other weapons, there you go, as my body still stays here. Hopefully this video was helpful. I know it wasn't really quite the detailed walkthrough that I usually do for subs that are familiar with my content. It's, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to show you guys that all the exploits are still there if you're still having trouble with them, just to let you know that you can still do them and show you hard Crota, which the strategy is not different from normal to hard. You just got to make sure to time out the enrage, and that's about it. Hopefully this was helpful. Have a good one. See ya.